Rise and shout. It's time for What's Trending. It was fun to watch Jaren play football at BYU. Hopefully we get that chance tomorrow. It's not sounding like it. But it's BYU and SMU in the New Mexico Bowl tomorrow. Behind you on that field, Spencer, for the first time since 2010 for the Cougars. Time for some game notes, as you mentioned, to hopefully make you sound smarter, or if you don't trust us, to make you sound dumber. Spencer, start us off.
Let's start it off with good news, Jarom. BYU has won every game in the state of New Mexico over the last 25 years. They're 8-0 in that span. And the last time BYU lost here in New Mexico University Stadium was 1997, which, oh, by the way, just so happens to be the last year BYU played SMU and beat the Mustangs in 1997. Hey,
I love that. Just taking it to anybody in, in New Mexico. Okay, notable injuries. Jaren Hall, as mentioned, probably not going to play. He hasn't been ruled out, but he hasn't been ruled in either. Rashee Rice, the top receiver in the country in receiving yards per game, is out as well for SMU. If BYU rolls out a backup quarterback, which we fully expect at this point, in Cade Fennegan or Nick Billups or Soljay Mayaba as a starter, we probably expect Cade Fennegan. It'll be the 5th time in 11 independent bowl games where BYU had the backup starting that game. And in the case of Cade Fennegan, it might be perhaps the first reps of that season for that quarterback, in this case Cade's career, since Tom Young in the Aloha Bowl in '92, maybe? It's been a long time.
That's right, yep.
In fact, Kalani Satake gives us the latest on Jaren Hall and the BYU quarterback situation, featuring possibly multiple backups.
Jaren's situation, we were hoping that he'd be able to go. We did, did some things on earlier in the week that we thought might be able to take, and didn't go the way we thought it would. But we're going to need him to help lead us, and I remember I was talking to Brett about it earlier. I just remember an episode of Coach back in the day where they went to the Pineapple Bowl, and they rolled out the quarterback in the wheelchair, and he got up and won the game for him, got MVP. This is not one of those moments, so just want to make sure everybody knows that. You watched the same one too? Yeah. Right now, everybody's going to go find that episode and watch it. But I mean, we have. I wanted to start with the yeah. Well, the other guys are capable, and there's. I mean, you might see one, you might see two, you might see three. Right now, so the last game of the year. We told A-Rod we don't have a lot of tendencies when it comes to those guys, so let's just go out there and play and see what happens.
So officially Jaren's out then?
More than likely, yeah. I mean, unless that episode comes true, there's still 48 hours. You never know.
Well, there you go. Basically, he hasn't been ruled in, so it doesn't feel like he's playing right. Notable injuries for SMU. Tackle Jalen Thomas has started 10 games at every offensive line position but center. He is out. Wide receiver Dylan Goffney, 3rd in receiving yards, is out too. Obviously, a litany of BYU players out too. But this is a spring game with two teams that it counts in the standings. That's what it's going to feel like. But hopefully, BYU comes out a winner.
Hey, I've got a couple of ideas. First of all, we need to implement the Pineapple Bowl, right? He was referencing the Minnesota State Screaming Eagles with Craig T. Nelson on that old show, Coach. Let's start the Pineapple Bowl. I don't know where it's going to be played, but it feels like it should be in Hawaii, right?
Do we know there's not a Pineapple Bowl already?
I have no idea. No idea. We should look into that for sure. Okay, let's keep it rolling with these game notes, Jarom. And you were alluding to this a moment ago. To add to the BYU backup quarterback storyline, and assuming Cade Fennegan or Soljay Mayaba or Nick Billups, one of them is going to start. Assuming one of those guys starts on Saturday, it will mark only the 2nd time that a BYU quarterback is making their initial start, their debut in a bowl game, joining, yes, Steve Young's little brother Tom Young when he started the Aloha Bowl in 1992.
I jumped you on that one. Sorry. No, that's a crazy stat, right? Like, you haven't played for this school and now you're showing up at a bowl game? That's crazy, right? Okay, next item. SMU stinks on defense. 92nd or worse in the things that matter, points per game, yards per game, rush and pass yards per game, yards per play, they stink. Meanwhile, BYU, way better, 8 spots better in at least the best thing. 84th or worse. BYU's defense not very good either. And a depleted coaching staff, certainly on the defensive side. Satake has been calling the play since the Liberty game. 2 of the 5 coaches left on the staff, so it's more Gavin Fowler, Jan Jorgensen, and others who have coached this group. Take it for what it's worth. The defense has struggled this year, and now they don't really have the coaching staff. We'll see what happens against a really good SMU offense.
With all of that in play, Jarom, BYU is now a 4-point underdog, according to the Las Vegas experts, and ESPN's giving the Cougars a 47.5% chance to win with their ESPN Football Power Index numbers in play. But the real magic number for BYU to win this game is 34 points. And here's why. SMU is 0-4 this year when they score 33 or fewer points. If BYU can hold the Mustangs to under 34, the Cougars' chances of winning, statistically speaking, would get a nice boost.
That means that BYU would have to score 34, Spence. With this backup situation, we hope they can run the rock effectively because, again, SMU's defense is not great. Next game note. It's the final game of independence. I feel like we haven't really even talked about sort of the end of this. We're looking forward. We're so excited. It's the end of a massive era for BYU in its history where it left the Mountain West Conference. It's been in the ESPN Conference, if you will, and now it's playing its 155th independent game, 98-56. Had BYU just defeated ECU or Liberty or Notre Dame, this would have been going for win 100. That would have been awesome. Instead, going for win 99.
Jarom, the sun sets at 4:56 p.m. tomorrow. It's that time of year in mid to late December.
You're in trouble,
crazy. Bro. And with a cold front in place, game time forecast calls for temperatures around a balmy and freezing 32 degrees at kickoff, dipping into the mid-20s by the time the game finishes. It's going to be absolutely frigid tomorrow night for these players.
Well, you look warm. I don't know. If I were you, I'd shed the coat. It looks pretty sunny. I don't know, man. New Mexico, it's supposed to be hot, right? This time of year? No, it was cold in 2010, but it wasn't like that. Yeah. Hey, maybe that ball's slick and it's hard to throw, and it's advantage BYU in the run game, perhaps. We'll see. And last but not least, SMU hasn't won a bowl game since 2012. It's been a minute. Perhaps that's an extra motivation for the Mustangs. Perhaps it's a thing that they don't really win bowl games. Who knows? But certainly they are the favorite, expected to win this game. Maybe BYU pulls off the upset and keeps that bowl-less streak going of wins for SMU.
Yeah, and of course, BYU's played SMU 3 times all time. Never lost to the Mustangs. They'll try and make it 4 against SMU tomorrow. That takes us to our game day guarantees, Jarom, on the season. I am 18 for 36. No thanks to Dave McCann, who didn't help me out last time. You are 12 for 36. And total now, we are 30 for 72. So you do the math, it's not great, but whatever. Jarom, start us off. Let's try and end this season and this independence era on a high note.
Okay, BYU will rush for 4+ touchdowns. They've run for exactly 4 touchdowns in the last 3 bowl games. So I expect that number, especially with this probable game plan of rushing, to happen again. Number 2, the team with the most yards wins. Seems too simple, right? But it's precise. BYU 7-0 when it has more yards, 0-5 when it has fewer. Okay? And BYU will rush for 200+. I think BYU has to rush for 300+ to win this game. We just don't know what we're going to see in the pass game. If Puka Nacua doesn't play, we don't know who's throwing the rock to. Puka and Keanu Hill and company. BYU's got to rush for 300. They are 3-1 when rushing for 200. They've rushed for 300 twice in the opener and the finale of the regular season against USF and Stanford. Both wins, of course.
Yeah, SMU gives up 203 yards a game on average on the ground. So I'm with you. Like that's going to happen. You should get a point there. Number 1 for me, however, is at least 2 different BYU players will complete a pass tomorrow. Kalani Satake said we'll see maybe up to 3 quarterbacks play for BYU. I think at least 2 of them complete a pass. Maybe there's a trickeration play in there from Aaron Roderick as well. Number 2, this goes back to the rushing stat you just brought up. I think Christopher Brooks is going to lead the charge for BYU, and this will help your fantasy football team. He goes for 100 plus. I guarantee it. And then number 3, I've said this a few times this week, and dating back to when we initially found out about this matchup, the first team to 30 points is going to win this game. 30 points. You get the 31st, you're going to win the bowl game in New Mexico.
I'm hoping BYU gets to 30. If they're running the rock a bunch and they're dominating, yeah, perhaps. But if BYU's got to throw the ball, we just don't know what we're going to see. And hopefully it's great, but we'll see.